Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, June 25th, 2024. Welcome to the Dani Perro Show. We are in the studio today. I'm so blessed and excited. My guest drove 6 hours to come to me. That's so sweet. I can't appreciate how amazing you are for that. Just coming, just driving here. So thank you for that.
You got it.
We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I have Mr. Kyle here, and we know you as your artist name, HEGEMON. HEGEMON?
That's good.
All right. I think I said it correctly, so that makes me really happy. So we appreciate you being here and just taking the opportunity to come drive up here and being live in studio.
Yeah, and I thank you for this opportunity. It was
a
worth the drive.
couple hours away, not too bad. It's not like you drove across country, so
Right,
we're
right,
thankful
right.
for that and everything. But I'm excited to get to know you a little bit during the show. So I'm kind of interested for yourself, just being a musician as you are. Where in your lifespan do you feel like age you started to get more into music, maybe more interested?
Yeah, I was thinking about this driving over here, and I really think it started when I was young, like a kid, and just driving in. My mom had a minivan, and she would drive us places. And I remember songs coming on the radio, like the Goo Goo Dolls, and listening to them and just being captivated. But I think it was just over time, I was getting more and more interested in music. During like high school years, I was really focused on sports. But when I got into my late teens, maybe like 19, I just was going through a lot of personal turmoil. I was in a bad relationship, and it just seemed like everything was falling apart in my life. And I turned to a lot of the wrong things during that time. But one of the other things I started finding was music, and specifically rap music. So I started listening to guys like Machine Gun Kelly and Wiz Khalifa at the time.
Yeah.
And that was really what...
I know who they are.
It just kind of... I don't know, it was just kind of like a kid how I just started freestyling on my own. No one was teaching me anything.
Okay.
But that was really... I just started doing it, and eventually I got confident enough. I shared it with my friends, or I would freestyle in front of my friends, and they were like, hey, you're actually good at this. And so...
Okay, so they were honest
yeah.
about it. That's also
Yeah.
great. That's definitely expected. I feel like another thing is when you get the opportunity to just start listening to music, depending how it hits you or how you feel about it, whether or not it was just rap, how did it kind of make you feel? Did it make you feel happy? Did it make you feel in the moment? Because sometimes with rap too, it can make you also feel depressed.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's also different types of artists that sing that type of, genre and
Yeah.
the picture that you put out there. So I feel like when you're listening to rap, it can give you all different emotions, whoever the artist is, or whatever you're listening to.
Yeah.
So then listening to rap for yourself, was this a positive aspect, do you feel like? Or was this something that is just something you wanted to do growing up?
Yeah, it's funny because rap was never on my radar. It was
Okay.
not something. I mean, I listened to more like Christian rock growing up, and then
Okay.
pop radio
Yeah.
in high school. But I remember I used to play baseball, and for our baseball team, we bleached our hair.
Okay.
It was a dumb thing that we did.
Okay.
I just went along with it.
Okay.
But I remember walking through the mall, and a girl came up to me, and she's like, "You look like Eminem." And I thought, what on earth are you even saying?
That's the best compliment
it
ever.
did not register with me. I was like, and then to think that I'd go on and actually become a rapper later in life was just
Were you blonde
not something I expected.
when you were first starting to be a rapper, or was that just because of when you did it in the bleachers?
No, I just did it for baseball in high school. It was not
Not trying anything.
no.
You weren't being like a Justin Timberlake or anything in the industry.
Nope. No,
got it.
not at all. No, eventually, once I did start doing music and I started to get serious about it, I did bleach my hair again. Just as like, hey, I'm getting into this. I'm starting.
Okay.
I'm pursuing
So you
this
did blonde
seriously.
again?
Yep. mhm.
Okay.
Bleach blonde.
And then when you were looking into it more and you were thinking, hey, this is something that I think I want to pursue, kind of then what do you feel like your next step was, your next push to yourself?
Yeah, so kind of a crazy thing happened. So I get into rap music, and I'm in a dark period of my life, and so that's why I was relating to those guys, and not every song, but some of the music.
Yes.
You really get to know an artist by listening to their lyrics because they put a lot of their life
Especially
in it.
Linkin Park. I know that
Yeah.
they're not rap, but you definitely get to know who they are in their
Exactly.
music, especially Numb.
And it relates to people. And so, but what happened for me was I just, when I was about 21 years old, I came to the end of myself. I was broken, and I had a relationship with God when I was young. I walked away from it. But at that moment, I looked in the mirror. I saw the person I became. I was just like, I'm done with this. I'm done with the world. I'm done chasing this party lifestyle, all that.
Got it. So it was more of like yourself growing up to where you didn't want to see yourself being.
Yeah, I was just
Just trying to explain it as best, but not get too depth because I don't want to make you bring up your past or anything.
no, you're good, and I'm comfortable sharing anything. But really, such change happened in my life. So music, and I was rapping about certain things. And then when I surrendered my life to Christ, I was like, well, this doesn't really glorify God. So I don't know if I can do this.
Music industry is definitely different.
Exactly.
Especially Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah. So, but the crazy thing that happened, so about an 8-month period of time, like I kind of gave up on my dream of being a rapper.
Okay.
But then the Holy Spirit started to stir in me, and it was like God was like, I want you to start writing again. And so I did, but this time when I started writing lyrics, all of a sudden they were God glorifying. So my whole perspective changed, and then the way I approached music and writing songs was completely different. And at that point, it became more of a mission than just a career.
Okay.
I saw the potential for...
There was like a mission that you saw he kind of put in your life to guide you to the next step. Now, let me ask a little bit prior to us getting on this topic.
Yeah.
When you were shortly going to church, say when you were being, starting to rap, do different types of genre of music, going to church, did you feel like something was pulling at you where it didn't seem right? Maybe what you were rapping, what you were singing about, and then praising God at church, like it felt something was off.
Yeah. I think one of the things about me is I've always been true to myself. I've always been authentic. And it was really the period of my life when I was like 17 to about 20. When I was 17, I was living a lifestyle that didn't line up with what someone going to church that follows the Bible, that follows Jesus should be doing.
Okay.
So I walked away from the church. So I was out of the church because I couldn't be a hypocrite. I couldn't live that lifestyle and do those things. And music, I found music during that time when I was away.
Okay.
Got into rap. And then when I came back to the church, that was when I put it down in the beginning. But then God stirred up in me, and then I was able to use it in a different way.
Was it when you also went to church, was it the ability where maybe words that you were hearing or hymns that you were singing or just listening to being a part of church kind of felt like they were like, I don't want to say growing in you, but like pulling at you somewhere, somehow, in between the situation of you knowing later down the line that God wanted you to pursue this?
Yeah, I think there was such a hunger inside of me to learn. And
it's also, you probably missed it, right? Also being a musician, a rapper.
Yeah.
Because it's something that you put down, it's kind of painful. It's something that you really think that you want to do. It's a career.
Exactly.
So getting a chance to like push to the side is like, ouch type of thing. But
Yeah.
you can change it up and make it any way more positive and godly for yourself as opposed to your mission. Then it probably is like, woohoo, I could do this again type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've fallen in love with it over time. And the longer I've been doing it, the more I've enjoyed it. And the music I'm making today is, I'm 30 years old now. So this has been like a 10-year journey. So just to see where I started and with
in
rap.
the beginning, with everything.
And then just growing and transitioning into more pop, punk, just a mixture of music.
So when we get into rap a little bit for yourself, because obviously you are a rapper, but I feel like you also do have the aspect of your singing, right? So you're also singing as opposed to the song you're going to be singing for us later.
Right.
It's a mix of both, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that's just wanted to make sure. So musician-wise. So with that being said, when you were at church, just getting a chance to pursue everything and looking back into rapping, did you ever sing the hymns as well? Was that something that you felt like you would do when you're in church? Or were you just going there to just embrace?
Yeah, I
Was it hard for you to sing the hymn? I know that's different,
No.
like completely different story.
Yeah, it's funny because it's just like, it's different music.
It's like,
It's like you're in a different environment and
Yeah.
you just...
Well, for like a couple of hours, depending on how long the service is.
I've always been very good at blending in. Wherever I go, like
Okay.
I just kind of, I blend in. I fit in. I just do what other people are doing in that environment. Not in a way that I'm not being true to myself, but just, as a cultural norm. But I actually didn't tell my church in the beginning that I was doing this.
Okay.
Even when it was a godly thing, I just kind of hid it from them. And when I finally told them, they were like, "What? why didn't you tell us?
I'm sure they wanted you to perform.
Yeah, they were so excited. And my bishop, Robert G. Moore Jr., he's an awesome, godly man. And he put a mic in my hand and he said, I want you to perform. And that really helped me grow because I wasn't at a position where I was performing in front of a lot of people
Was
yet.
it any stage fright, any situation that you had felt upon it? Because this was more of you doing it live?
Yeah. I was definitely nervous, and I was super shy when I was a kid. So me to do what I do today, I've had to overcome a lot, but it was just during that growing period. And it's funny because I would always rap, like I had the opportunity to travel overseas for missions, and I would rap overseas before I would rap here in the States because I was like nervous about it. You know what I mean?
Were you part of missionary? Was that stuff you also had gotten a chance to do and be a part
Yeah,
of?
just with some churches that I was involved
Like
with.
building different things in different countries?
Yeah, doing
That's
missions like, you know, a lot of youth camps and really just outreaching the youth and like Bible camps, just teaching kids and just throwing fun parties for them with music and games and that type of stuff.
That's how I learned when I was younger.
Yeah.
That's the fun part. I wish
I
we
know,
can still
that's
do
what I
that to this
love.
day, but it's like they're only for the kids, and I'm just like, it's not fair. But yeah, it's definitely incredible because getting a chance to do that, whether you are on a missionary trip or learning about yourself too, that's also a huge part of it, right? Because you're teaching other people of what you already learned, but you're still learning from what everybody else is teaching, because everybody has
Exactly.
their own different way of teaching. And as you know, a musician with that, you can definitely take that an aspect where you can be like, hey, I can make this a song. I have inspiration from this, as opposed to us going overseas and, you know, helping with youth groups or camps or anything that you guys were a part of and helping build. It's more the fact that anything that happens inspiration-wise for you, you have like the inspiration.
Yeah,
like,
it's
it
a
just
well
comes,
that
like,
you can draw from,
like,
all that life
consistently.
experience.
Yeah. And then as a musician for yourself, we were talking about some of the inspirations for rappers, but what about artists? Like any Christian artists that you listened to or grew up to as well?
Yeah, Lecrae was a huge influence on me, especially in the beginning because I didn't know Christian rap was a thing.
Okay.
Like I didn't even know it existed. Then I came across him and I was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
there are guys
So it
who
was like
do
probably, when did he start? Was that like
this. Lecrae, he was around in
90s?
late 90s.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I
Early-
don't remember him.
Maybe even.
Or maybe
I mean, he would have
earlier,
been
but
young
I'm not
then.
quite sure.
Probably 2000s. But
Yeah, either or. So I just wanted to make sure, because I wasn't quite sure of when Christian rap actually came out either. I was curious, even when you were mentioning it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, every time I listened to like Star 99.1, which was, you know, the Christian station here around New Jersey, Philly area, it was always like different bands or different independent artists that they picked up, which just have their own type of music. You know, like punk, Christian, like, you know, emotional, like you feel it pulling at your heart and then you start crying type of thing.
Yeah.
So all music can do that, no matter what the genre is. And I feel like with also being a Christian, taking that sort of situation to yourself or where you think you want to go next, you have all different types. What you can even do, you can even change it to country too. You know, country,
could try.
pop, rock,
We could
like
try.
all that.
I do
different
drive a
stuff.
truck.
Maybe that's why I said it. Yeah, no, I know you drive a truck, but I wanted to say definitely because you could do a lot with your career, and I'm sure that's a lot what you're always pursuing and have many things going up. Just thinking of what's next for yourself, as opposed to the album that you had previously just released when it was Ironside. What year did you release that?
Released that in 2021.
Okay, so 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yep. And the title song off that Ironside I released 4 years ago. And that was like the main song off the album.
Ironside. Okay. So what was the story behind your title being Ironside?
Yeah, so I don't know if you've heard of the show Vikings it's like on the History Channel.
I feel like
It's
I know somebody that might have.
It's a good
Yeah.
show. It's a really good
That's
show.
probably why.
So I didn't intentionally use the word Ironside. When I'm writing, sometimes, especially if it rhymes, it'll just pop in my head.
Okay.
But I know I had been watching that show. There's a character on it, Bjorn Ironside. But Ironside basically, like, he couldn't be killed in battle was the lore. You know, it's this meaning of invincibility. And so at the time of my life, I was learning about spiritual warfare, you know, because God is real, but the devil is real too. So as I'm
A
pursuing
lot of
music,
temptation in the world.
exactly. As I'm pursuing music, I knew that the devil was attacking me and trying to stop me from doing what I was doing. But I was able to stand up to him, and I knew that if God is with me, all things are possible. And that nothing's going to harm me. Like he can't stop me. If God calls me to something, God will bring it to pass. And when he's on my side, I'm Ironside. And that was
That's
yeah.
really incredible. I like the way you kind of put that together. So with that being said, you feel when God calls you, you have the temptation, you have the situation where you feel like he's pulling you for a certain mission or a certain type of next activity or job he wants you to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, God, he puts all these things on my heart, and that was the crazy thing. So I wrote Ironside. I was 26, and just about to turn 27, and God stirred in my heart so strongly that I needed to take this music to the world. And I didn't have a record label. I didn't have any talent scouts saying, "Oh, this kid's he's up next." I didn't have anybody doing those things for me, but there was this burning desire inside of me, this passion that I had to get the music out. And so I heard Mike Lindell speak, the CEO of My Pillow. He came to Youngstown, where I'm from.
You said My Pillow? Okay, I know exactly who that guy is.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
Yeah.
He has a great book. And I read his book, and he was just like, you got to take that leap of faith. You got to go all in. And so that's what I did. I applied it to my music, and I said, I don't have places to perform, but I'm going to take this music across the country.
Whatever you can do, make your own tour type of thing.
Exactly. I was like, if the churches don't want me performing there, I mean, it was still COVID, so I don't blame churches for not wanting to bring me in.
Oh, but 2021, is this when it came out? It's not really, I guess
yeah,
everything was
still like shut down a little bit.
Yeah.
People were still very hesitant. But I was like, I need to move. I need to do something. So that made me go to the streets, and I just went to the streets of the big cities in the South and parks, and we had equipment, we'd throw it up and we'd perform, and that's what became what I called the Ironside Tour.
Now, was this considered like an acoustic tour that you were doing as well, part of it, or was this more of like you were bringing you had all your instruments and everything a part of it, but was it like you popped up different places? Was it all like people knew about the shows?
Yeah, no, this was completely
off the fly.
Yeah, shoot from the hip. Nobody knew we were coming, and it was just, and I didn't even know exactly like what parks. So I literally, in the Bible, it talks about Peter. He's on this boat, and Jesus is walking on water, and he calls to Peter, and he says, "Come to me." Peter gets out of the boat, walks on water. And that's a crazy thing to think about. In the Bible, it says, the righteous shall live by faith, not by sight. So what I did was I applied that biblical wisdom to my life, and I said, I don't have places to perform. I don't know exactly where I'm going, but I'm going to take that leap. And I'm going to walk into the unknown. I'm going to travel to Nashville. I'm going to go to Atlanta, to New Orleans, to Houston, to Los Angeles, and I'm just going to perform, see what God does, what doors open.
What's available, what you can do next. Okay.
And just step out.
So tell me a little bit about the tour, because I want to get to your book as well, but tell me a little bit more about the tour, how you had to take that leap of faith into the next type of hands, and where you kind of went, performed-wise. And how were the crowds? How did people come around you? Did you have like little areas to perform? How much space did you have? Was it venues?
Yeah, no, it was not venues.
Okay.
So basically, I had a truck, and my friend Corey went with me, and we set out to travel the country, and we started with Tennessee. I mean, we did an opening show in Youngstown
Nashville.
at a church where they wanted us to perform.
Okay.
But then we went to the South. We went to Nashville, Knoxville area, and we just started there and started learning how to be street performers. We'd go to, we were on Broadway. We were learning how to busk. So busking is just, you see the guys with the guitars. Now, I didn't have a guitar, but I had a little speaker to play the instrumental.
Okay, and you
then
were singing to it.
I would rap. Yep, I would rap to it.
Okay.
And, and then we had these nice, we had a good, speaker set up, these, 12-inch, 14-inch alto speakers. We had a generator, so we could perform literally anywhere we wanted. And we would just set up in the parks. And what would happen was people would hear the music that were already in these parks, and then they would just walk over to us, and then they would become the audience.
Okay.
And it was just crazy cool to see God developed us. And so really Tennessee was where we kind of learned how to do it and how to just show up in a city and figure out, okay, these are good spots to
there's
perform.
a lot of also, if you know about Nashville a lot too, there's a lot of option where there's so many street performers and
Yep.
different areas where you always will find live music live somewhere on the street no matter what. So I feel like that's the opportunity as well of you starting off fresh there, where you can learn from other artists as well around your area or find people you might want to collaborate with.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
You
that's,
never know.
That's networking. I mean, it's just putting yourself out there and seeing who you never know who you're going to meet.
I'm also like a talent scout when I go on vacation and I find people that are musicians or whatever on the street and they
Yeah.
sound really good. I'm like, I would like to have you on my show. You know,
Yeah.
it's that type of thing. You never know who comes up to you, you know?
Exactly.
Or who's legit when they say it.
Right.
I mean, obviously I am, but you have to be careful in the industry too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's really incredible that you started out there. So from Nashville, where did you go next?
Yeah, so we knew we wanted to hit like just the big music cities. So after that it was Atlanta, you know.
Okay.
So we would hit like smaller cities along the way, and just wherever we could perform. But like Atlanta was huge, New Orleans was huge, Houston was big, and then obviously Los Angeles and San Diego. So that was kind of the path that we went out, and then we came back
You came.
through Texas. We did like San Antonio, and we ended in Florida, like the Clearwater area.
Okay, so
Tampa.
and then you went back to Ohio.
And then eventually I drove home. Yeah.
Did you drive to all those places
Yeah, we drove everywhere.
with your car? Or did you have like
I still had the truck,
Okay.
and you know,
Dedication, man.
oh, it was wild. It was
Whew.
wild. We
Hope you had a lot of snacks and everything for the tour.
yeah, we had enough to eat. That was a crazy thing because I did not have enough money to go on this tour. We ran out of money like within 10 days of leaving, and God just provided. He provided the gas for the rest of the trip. He would provide food, and the crazy thing was like people that would hear us performing would just come up. I never asked for money. I was not in it to make money. I was just.
You just wanted to play your music for
Exactly.
yourself and also cherish for God.
But people would come up to us, and specifically Corey, they'd go up to Corey while I'm performing, and they would just give him money. And they had no idea that we didn't have anything to eat, you know?
Yeah.
So it was just.
So God did provide for you for that type of
Oh,
thing.
he did. He did. Amazingly.
Because you were able to continue your path.
We made it. You know, this was an idea in my head, and I wrote this song called Rap Star before we left. And in the song, I'm just like saying, from the Midwest down the East Coast, bump along the South, making noise wherever he goes. One destination to the Californication, moving so fast he gonna crash into L.A. So that's like the hook of the song, and it's crazy. I wrote that, and I had a vision of what we would do, but I had no idea how it was gonna come to
You
pass.
must have manifested it.
It was like
more than you think now.
Yeah,
Probably. You might have manifested it, put it more out there to yourself to kind of see what you think you should do next, and then God actually made your vision come true.
He does, and it's a spiritual gift. In the church, they call it prophecy, the gift of prophecy, and that's like, I know it's like my number one thing. And being an artist, it just makes sense because you're writing songs.
And you're
stuff.
staying busy, doing what you love, you know, that type of thing too. Well, I definitely want to talk a little bit about your book because I know you're going to be performing in a little bit too.
Sure.
Yeah. He's performing some one of his songs. What song are you performing?
I am.
I Am.
Mm-hmm.
And why did you choose this song?
I've been
Out of
practicing
all
it
of your
lately.
songs.
Because
you did 3 mic checks.
yeah, so I was like, well, this one will work. No, this song, I love this song, and I was talking to you earlier. I said I submitted it to K-Love to see. I think it's a song that people will really find comfort in, especially if they're like wondering who God is. And for me, this song is very important because it is who I am, but more importantly, it's pointing to the great I am, to God. And people don't know how hard I'm fighting for them. Like with doing this music and putting myself out there, it's because I know
Coming
it's
to
gonna
Hamilton
reach
Radio
people.
for a long drive.
And it's 100%
That's why we're
worth
taking
it.
care of dinner for you, bud. We got you. We definitely do. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we really appreciate it. We think it's incredible. You know, and even given the opportunity that you get to perform live, like that was just, you know, that happened randomly when you walked in. We were like, hey,
Yep.
do you want to perform? And you were like, sure. Because I know you're always prepared as a musician, but I feel like the fact is giving you a heads up beforehand would have been so much better.
You know, but that's living by
But we
faith.
like to, we
you
like
know?
to just throw you off just a little bit.
Yeah.
To show that we're real, you know? So definitely excited. We're going to have you be performing shortly. With that being said, I want to talk a little bit about the next type of introduction for yourself, as opposed to this amazing tour that you and your friend Corey were a part of, and he helped you. He was basically on tour with you, right? So he was like
Yep.
your good friend that was just a part of the whole travel
Yeah.
adversity with you. With that being said, shortly after, you then wrote a book.
I did.
And you didn't know you were going to write a book.
I did not.
So can we talk about how that started? Because that's
Sure.
pretty cool at the same time.
Yeah. Again,
Like,
this is
just
another
off a whim, right?
it's another thing I never thought I would do. Like,
Okay.
maybe I had a random thought one time, but what happened was
Growing up,
before,
you're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be a rapper and I'm going to write a book.
Yeah, no, those thoughts didn't cross my mind. What happened was before I went on tour, there was a house church that Corey and I went to, and they really helped us prepare us for like street ministry.
Okay.
Um,
so preaching on the street. Like to
yeah,
people.
yeah. You know, in the beginning, I thought I would just be performing music, but what happened was it turned into me performing music and preaching the gospel together.
Okay.
And that's kind of what it evolved into by the end of the tour. But at that house church, there was a woman named Mary Beth, a very godly woman, and she told me, she said, take notes when you're on the road.
Was she one of your acknowledgements?
Yes, she's in the acknowledgements.
Okay.
Yeah.
I read that.
Yeah,
name,
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why. Okay, got it.
And so what I did was, there's the Notes app on the iPhone every night. So many crazy things were happening to us on the road, so I was just typing it all out. And when I came back, I thought, oh, I'll just type this out as a testimony because people donated to the tour.
Okay.
You know, people donated so we could go out and do this, so we could make merch and
Try to do everything and keep it, of course, keep
keep
it
ourselves
consistently
going.
What it was exactly.
yeah. And
To see what you could do next.
so I just thought it was a testimony. As I'm typing this on my laptop, I'm like, this is a book. So I just wrote the book.
And it was that easy?
Yeah, it just kind of flowed. Yeah, it really just flowed.
That's incredible.
And it's not too
because-
hard to get published. So.
And no writer's block, no nothing.
No, and it's easy because I'm telling, it's an eyewitness account. It's like I'm just telling you what happened.
So if you can explain what your book is, basically, it just explains your journey.
Exactly. I give you a brief introduction of my music career, what led me to going on a street performance tour, and then it kind of dives into the day-to-day, what life was like on the road, not knowing what was going to happen, but then seeing God at work. And one of the things that Corey and I did every morning was we would have a Bible study. We'd go somewhere if we had money, we'd get breakfast. It was cheap breakfast, but
What you could afford, I got you.
yeah. We would read the Bible, and it was just crazy to watch. We were reading the Gospels, the Gospel of Luke and the Gospel of John, and it was crazy. What we would read in the morning would like present itself during the day. We'd come across these. You know, Jesus, when he started his ministry, he just went to the people. You know,
That's how we started.
so it was we were just experiencing the Bible firsthand. So the book is really just my account of everything that happened and the miraculous stuff that we got to witness.
Because I know that there's a lot of Bible verses in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Getting just like a drift when you get like an idea of it. Was the Bible verses something to do with each chapter? Did you feel like that was something that you wanted to also pursue? Was that something that was like in between each? Like where did the Bible verses come in between the book?
Yeah, so
For
when
your
if you're
making.
reading this book, what's going to happen is Corey and I are having a Bible study in the morning. Obviously, you're not a part of that Bible study, but I quoted those scriptures because during the day there are things that happened that match what happened in the scriptures.
Wow.
We witnessed those types of things, like we
That's incredible.
saw the demon.
It feels
yeah.
like it's an interactive type of book then,
Yeah,
technically
it
too.
is.
You can like envision yourself there, part of the Bible study.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, one thing we actually did not mention before I say your name,
Yeah.
where did the name HEGEMON
Good question.
come from? Because if you hear it, it sounds like it's something to do Greek-wise.
Oh, you're good. You're very good.
And it just
On the spot.
exactly. And it's more the fact that like with that name, if it is Greek, like what is your story?
Yeah. So
So I need to know.
yeah. This is what happened. I was reading about Alexander the Great, and this was right, near when I became a Christian. I was about 21 years old, and I just got interested in it. So I started reading about him on Wikipedia. And when he was 20 years old, he came to power after his father as the Macedonian king. And there was a title that his father created, and it was HEGEMON.
Okay.
And when Alexander came to power, he took that title for himself, and in the ancient Greek, it translates to leader. The first time I read that title, that name, I said, that's my name. And it was the weirdest
So
thing.
it just felt like it
I
was
had
perfect, even though you had no idea. You never read that before.
I had never read it before, and I didn't understand why I thought it was my name.
Were you meant? Did something pull you to read anything of Alexander the Great that day?
Yes, I was actually reading. I was working with a professor. I started a student organization at school, and I was
Okay.
working with a professor, and it was his book that I was reading. I didn't make it past the introduction. I'm sorry, Dr. Gahani. But I got rabbit trailed into Alexander the Great, and then that's what really led me to it. And so after a few months of studying it, learning the ancient Greek, and I got it tattooed across my back. So a year goes by, and so this is just the crazy part of the story. So I just believed it was my destiny to do this. Asked my dad. He gave me his blessing.
He's
And
in the book.
yeah, he's my biggest supporter. I love my dad.
Richard?
Yeah, he's an
Okay.
awesome
See,
man
I
of God.
remember some stuff.
Yeah, you're good. You're doing
I
great.
read, like, as quick as I can, just to get a draft, but continue.
But a year after I get this tattoo, I plug in the ancient Greek into a Bible study software called Logos.
Okay.
Just because I was curious. I was like, I wonder if this is in the Bible. And it is in the Bible, and it translates literally to governor, referring to Pilate. I don't know if you're familiar with the governor of Judea.
I know
But
Pilate for Patriarch Pilate. The Bible one.
yeah, Pontius Pilate. You got it.
Okay.
You got it. That's
All
exactly
right,
what I'm talking about.
I didn't know if I was saying it
That's
correctly.
Pontius Pilate.
Okay. But that's
You
when
got
you
it.
said Pilate, that's the only thing I know. Okay, continue.
But it translates to governor, and the crazy thing was when I was in high school, my nickname was the governor. It was a weird nickname that I had, but
Why
that's
was
what my
your
friends
nickname
called
Governor?
me. So, some guy at a street fair called me that because I was dressed up nice, I think. I
Okay,
don't know
so
why.
it was like a
and my
fun-
friends
fun
took it
little
and ran
player
with
joke.
it. Yeah.
Of course.
So unknowingly, I get my high school nickname tattooed on my back, which is just crazy.
So it goes back to your past.
It does, yeah.
Continue. I'm mind blown right now.
Yeah. It's just a wild thing, and there's a lot of depth to it, and I know there's more to it. But for me, when I decided I want to be an artist, I want to be a rapper, I chose to use this as my name because it's true to who I am. Like, I truly believe, like, this is who I am, and I want to be authentic and real with people.
As opposed to HEGEMON. And with that being said, it's more the fact that even with your book, Becoming a Rap Star, do you feel like if somebody was to read your book, they could become a rap star? Is that also the inspiration that you feel like you would put in the book?
Absolutely.
More of also your journey.
Yeah. I think my biggest thing is I'm not doing this to be the best rapper, the best singer, this superstar. Like, that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is be a light in the darkness, and I want to share with people hope and a message of faith, and that following.
Why do you got to live so far away?
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many things that I could mention to you. There's an amazing church not that far from here, right here in New Hope, Pennsylvania. And I know the pastor, he's my age, I think he's 26, 27.
Oh, okay.
And his wife, Nicole, The Crossing. Immediately in a heartbeat after the show, I'm going to send them the show. But if you're ever around the area, I think they would love to have you come to the church and preach or sing.
I'd love to. Yeah.
Just because the fact of the matter is, when you go to a church, and this is 100% different than any other church I recommend, because whether or not it's
Denominational. Yeah.
thank you, it's more the fact that when you're there, you actually feel the Holy Spirit. People have passed out from it.
Yeah.
And it still boggles my mind and makes me sweat and so scared when I walk in. But it's incredible of how loud and powerful and beautiful it is. And I feel like that'd be absolutely perfect for you to go and
I'd
be a
love
part
to.
of. So I will definitely contact Nicole and Pastor George after the show or when we're at dinner. I think that would be incredible for you.
Yeah.
Even if it's, a travel or whatever, I can see if they can take care of expenses because of this situation. But it would be incredible because I think that you can do so much with your journey, and you don't know what you might be doing next. I feel like you're meant to be a pastor.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And the only reason I'm saying that is sometimes I have a niche, like a sixth sense, where I sense something. You're going down the right path, but there's definitely something more that they want you to. He wants you to pursue more than what you're also pursuing.
Amen.
Because still with a pastor, you can sing.
Yeah.
None of that's off guard or anything. It's still that fact, but it's also more of the preaching that you're learning more into about the Bible and what you think you want to start singing and talking about. And that's huge with your career right now.
Absolutely.
Like completely huge. You could be a pastor in like training. You have no idea. I think you just got goosebumps.
Yeah, definitely.
So I just want to give you the opportunity because I think that's incredible. And I want to know, before I get you to perform, exactly where can people purchase this book online?
Yes, it's exclusively on Amazon.
Okay.
So if you just search the Ironside Tour on Amazon.com, you'll find it. Or you can just Google my name, Kyle Kostal, Kyle Kostal.
Is it on your website as well?
Yeah, in my website, Hegemon Music, I got a link right to the Amazon page where you can buy a copy. You can get the ebook version. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, I think we're going to get ready to hear you perform live.
Great.
We really get the opportunity to listen to I Am.
Yes.
And we're excited to hear you. So I'm going to say, without further ado, we have HEGEMON.
All right, thank you.
All right, going over to the mic, sir. Give him a second to get started, please. Okay.
I got a lot of problems overwhelming me. Got myself into deep, 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 deep. And all of my strength can't deliver me. Got me feeling so weak, weak, weak. But then you call my name. I heard you say in a whisper, come a little closer. I wanna give you, I wanna give you everything. I can heal you, and I can take your place. I'm fighting for you, 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 I'm fighting. I was headed in the wrong direction, I was running away. In the mirror, I saw my own reflection, In the moment, I knew that you called my name. I heard you say in a whisper, come a little closer. I wanna give you, I wanna give you everything. I can heal you, and I can take your place. I'm fighting for you, 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 I'm fighting. I will not leave you or forsake you, for I, the Lord your God, hold your right hand. It is I who say to you, fear not. I am the one who helps you. I am the first and I am the last. Besides me, there is no Savior. Be still and know that I am God. My God is fighting for you. He's fighting for you, My God is fighting, He's fighting. My God is fighting for you. He's fighting for you, My God is fighting, He's fighting. I know the way, only name that can save. Jesus, your grace, and now I'm singing for you. Hold on to me, don't let go. You're all I need, forever singing for you. Thank you, guys.
You
Ready
can
for me to come back?
You can come back to me. Yes. Wow, incredible. And the fun opportunity of that is this was definitely not rehearsed. No, I'm just kidding. It was more the fact that it was off a whim and you did incredible.
Thank you so much.
And it was super fun.
Yeah.
And it's definitely something that I feel like, as you know, this is your career, your path, what you're doing next, but there's a lot more coming up for you than you think.
Amen. I receive it.
Just embrace it.
Thank you, Dan.
Exactly. As you
Thank
said,
so
you
much.
receive it, embrace it.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think this is incredible. Even just getting an opportunity to read a little bit of the book because I didn't get a chance to read it.
Yeah, you're good.
There's a lot of incredible, situations that you probably went through and been a part of that obviously everything that happens is a reason. And sometimes it could happen. It could be a negative aspect. It could be a positive aspect into your life. You never know what's going to come next, but you definitely are embracing and ready for whatever is next to come. And I feel like with that being said, there's so much more you think you can do.
Thank
And
you.
I just want to like send you out to everyone I know right now and be like, hey, I have an incredible musician, that you're definitely embracing it. But it's also the ministry that you can be a part of because you said you were doing that in churches, house churches. So whether or not that was just something different that you were doing on the side, it could definitely be something deeper.
Yeah.
You never know.
No, it's crazy. Even though that you saying that, just the thing about being a pastor, like, I've had that spoken
Minister.
over. Yeah.
Minister is a little bit easier than saying pastor.
Yeah,
Pastor
yeah.
is like, but you never know what's upcoming, what's next. I do definitely feel like, obviously, I want you to stay in touch. I want to get the opportunity to have
Absolutely.
Corey on the show too, with all his situation when it's all completed and he's
Yep.
ready and married.
Yeah.
At the aisle.
He's a busy guy.
I definitely want to get the opportunity to have both of you, whether it's in studio or video.
Yeah, no, I
Fine,
think he'd
too.
love to come visit. So.
And we could talk a little bit more about the book as well as his perspective for both of you when you guys were on the tour
Yeah.
for yourself because, it's incredible what you're doing, what you have next. What is next for you? What is your next
Yes,
step right
so
now?
I have an
currently?
EP coming out in July, towards the end of July, called The Wilderness.
Okay.
So I'm really excited for that. And then I also have an album coming up. I don't know the release date yet, maybe fall.
Okay, of this
maybe
year.
Winter of this year, yeah.
So with this EP,
Mm-hmm.
is it how many tracks?
5 songs.
And it's called The Wilderness. So
Mm-hmm.
this is based off of?
Yeah, so continuing with the Exodus theme, I really feel like this book was me, God taking me out of Egypt and showing me like miraculous things. Like when the Israelites left Egypt, God parted the Red Sea. He led them by a cloud during the day, fire by night. He gave them bread from heaven. They saw all these miraculous things. But then after that, they went into a period in the wilderness where they wandered the wilderness for years. So the tour for me was seeing God of the Bible moving.
And him helping with the famine that you had because you couldn't afford that much.
Yeah, we ate bread from
You
heaven
helped.
for sure. Sometimes it was raising canes. But
They should have been a sponsor on the tour.
so this EP has kind of come out during this period. God put me into a wilderness season of my life. So that's coming out in
So everything you feel as if what you're going through, you put in your music, 100%.
Yeah. It's very much, it's the music. It just moves me. And whatever I'm going through in my life at the time, I'll just start writing. Sometimes I have an idea of what I want a song to be about, but other times I don't. And I just write, and then it's on a piece of paper, and I'm like, you can see a song in it. So
Now, with your beats and stuff behind it, do you also take part in your instrumentals?
yeah, so I have produced a couple tracks. So there's a song called Champion I produced. There's a
Okay.
song on the EP that I made called Next Stop. But for the most part, I work with producers. I have a couple amazing producers. One's Sam Huth. He's also a local Ohio guy.
Okay.
He's young.
Youngstown?
Youngstown area, yep.
Okay. And he's young?
He's
Okay.
young, yeah, he's young too.
So
He's
Elmworth?
only like 22.
Okay.
And then my main man, Mikhail Kush, he actually lives in South Africa. And he
Wow.
is like,
He helps around the
he
world.
produced the track for Ironside. He's the real musician. I'm more of the lyricist. But
But you work together for
yeah,
promotion
we've
and
worked
everything.
together for 4 years now. So, and I have an album of all his music coming out. That's the future album.
Is this the one in fall or is this past?
The
Is this
one
next?
in the fall, the next thing. So basically, Ironside I felt like was a great song, and now we're gonna have an album full of Ironside type tracks. That album's gonna be called Supersonic.
So this is after the EP.
After
Wilderness.
the EP, yeah. Sorry guys, I'm getting ahead of myself.
You are, but you're so excited, and I love it. I think it's incredible for what you're doing next. Now, where can people purchase your music?
The music's available anywhere you can stream music. You can purchase it on Apple, on iTunes. But yeah, I'm on all streaming platforms and
Spotify?
YouTube, Spotify. Yeah, I'm a Spotify guy. I love
Okay.
Spotify.
I do too. Definitely, it's very fun and incredible, and I hope that it gives you musicians money back in your pocket. Hopefully, too.
Yeah,
With that
yeah.
being said, because
Yep.
it's not as it's big, but I want to say Apple Music is obviously 100% bigger, but I feel like a lot of people are moving more from Amazon Music to back to Spotify because it's always
really?
like different things, or like series, like all those different types of radio stations that people look to.
Yeah, and I think
So-
for independent artists, there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of money for you to make.
Trying to. Yes.
Trying to
and
make,
putting
yeah,
yourself
yeah.
out there, of course.
Mhm,
That's
absolutely.
definitely the big thing. But it's incredible. I wish you so much luck in your journey. I think it's incredible what you're doing. I appreciate it. I love that you got me the book. I'm excited
Yeah,
to
you're
read
welcome.
about it. So excited for what's next with you. Keep us updated with the
Will do.
information for your next EP as opposed to when you're releasing it. Now, do you post sporadically on your social media?
Yes. Yeah. This is something I've had to learn because I'm more of a guy, man of action, just go out there and do it and forget to record it. But I've been learning and getting better at
Trying to post. Do you have somebody that
recording,
handles your media
posting.
to help you?
No, I'm the guy right now, but looking for somebody. So
Uh-oh, somebody's ears just perked up out there. I think that was Chris. But no, I definitely wish you so much luck in your journey. We really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
having you in the studio and excited to have you back here with Corey. And can't wait to see what's next. I thank you for being here, giving us the opportunity for you to perform.
Yeah, thank
live.
you
That
for
was
this
really fun.
opportunity.
And as you know, the show is live on Facebook as well, and we're live on YouTube. So anyone can make sure they follow you on your social media.
yeah.
And I appreciate you being here. And that's it.
Thank you, Dani Perro, and for this opportunity. Amazing time.
Thank you. I definitely want to say make sure you guys tune in every Tuesday from 6:30 to 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, PM, here on Hamilton Radio. We are live every Tuesday. Have a good night, guys.